Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Hakuoki Kyoto wins. Don't even. I see you over there eyeballing it. You're eyeballing my drink, and you're not allowed to have any. And last time you flew and landed up there, and you're gonna knock that glass over and you're gonna spill it. Sorry, I'm yelling at the bird. Anyway, we're back with more Hakuoki Kyoto wins. I don't know if I said that, but like I can hear him. He was on my shoulder and he's been eyeballing it, and I just kind of shoot him away, and I know he's back there on the back of the couch, like staring at the shit. I know, I can feel his beady bird eyes on me. Anyway, we're in the middle of Ryoma's route. And we rescued his ass in the last part, and we're still in the middle of stuff, and we're at the end of chapter 3. So I'm still banking like 6 parts for him. That was my original assumption. Still going with that, because there's going to be some stuff that we'll probably have to skip coming up, but not yet. So anyway, a month had passed, and the winds brought with them scents and sights of a new spring. I was cleaning the compounds as usual when I sensed a familiar profile approaching me. That's... Oh. Makoka, what brings you here? I was disappointed. I thought maybe it was him. I'm like, oh. You're like, oh. Don't make a scene. If anyone from the Shinsengumi finds me here, it won't be pretty. Oh. After Nakaoka gave me his warning, I put my hands over my mouth. Maybe it was because he was suspicious of the Shinsengumi, but he wasn't speaking in his usual Tosa accent. He slipped his hands into one of the sleeves, and from it, he pulled a letter that he handed to me. It was a letter from Sakamoto. He told me to deliver this to you. Sakamoto? How is he? Is his injury better now? He's better. Too much so. He has too much energy. Kind of hard to suppress. Read his letter and see. To see. I told him if he wanted to send a letter, he'd be better off asking a messenger to bring it, but he really insisted on someone handing it over to you personally, and he wouldn't shut up about it. He really played his injury card a little heavily. I see. The image of him exaggerating his injury and getting Nakaoka to bring the letter made me smile. Well, I'll be on my way now. If anyone asks, I did indeed hand it to you. Yes, thank you. Please send my regards to Sakamoto. Nakaoka bowed curtly and swiftly turned around to leave. Soon after, I quickly opened the letter that he'd just handed to me. They couldn't put that. Oh, look at his precious face. Yo, Spacey! Sup, girl? Like, what the fuck? Yo, Spacey. Diary's drink time. Yo, Spacey. How are you doing? I survived that night with your help. Thank you. Writing this as I soak in a hot spring to cure my ails and recuperate, but to tell you the truth, I'm real torn up right about now. Why, you ask? Way out west, a couple who just got hitched takes a trip to celebrate their marriage with one another. Yeah, a honeymoon. Hello? Should have brought you here with me. It'll be one of the biggest regrets in my whole life. Anywho. Oh, I'm sure they didn't fucking say that back in the day. I'm not sure between him or Hijikata, who I love most with their fucking modernized language. You're like, you guys are time travelers. There's no fucking way that shit gets said. Like, anyway. He is a fucking Time Lord. He's not from this time period. I'm sure you're worked up without me by your side, but keep your head up, you hear? You hear? I'm worked up without you, but no, I'm just, wait, well, dude, you overestimate your value. Like, what is Sakamoto saying? I wasn't sure whether or not he really meant what he wrote in his letter, and it infuriated me. The fact that he could write this letter in good humor shows he's at least in good spirits and doing well. But for a newly married couple to go on a trip together, suggesting he would take me out in such a way... No, I'm sure it was just his attempt at being charming. Above everything, I'm just glad to hear he's okay. I slipped the letter, which faintly smelled of his scent, into my sleeves, and I resumed my cleaning. Do you have pockets in your sleeves in Japan? Like how? I slipped it into my sleeve, and then when you put your hand down, your shit comes flying out. How does that work? It's like those people with the doors on the cars that go up. It's like, well, you can't have shit in the door pockets, because then when it goes up, that shit's coming out. So gravity. Does gravity not work in Japan? Is that like how it is? I put shit in my sleeves and it's magic. It's like fucking Harry Potter shit. I mean, I know Sakamoto's a Time Lord, and I'm thinking Hijikata is one too, but like, are the rest of them fucking wizards? Anyway. We absolutely could have read that in the last part, but we were already over time, so. How dare you? Sen, yay. Oh, Saito, he's still my favorite. Like, Ryoma is gorgeous, but Saito is just so fucking pretty. It's like, I don't know. The summer's muggy heat soon slipped away as the footprints of autumn approached us. Phew! I was in the middle of wiping the great hall's floor. The size of the room made just wiping the floors an arduous task. But still, knowing the warriors could focus on their work and not worry about the cleanliness of the compounds made the whole effort worth it. As these thoughts drifted through my mind...
Ah, Yukimura, there you are.
Oh, hello, Inoue. Can I help you with something?
A letter has arrived for you. I just came by to give it to you.
With that said, Inoue pulled a letter from the sleeve of his kimono. Again! With the magic sleeves!
Here you go. That is all. Goodbye.
Bye, Inoue. I love you. You're awesome. You're like everybody's best friend. Sad you're gonna die. Thank you. I wondered from whom it could be. I inspected the parchment and checked the sender's name, which only said Ume. Oh, goodness. Ume. Could it be... Thinking back all the way to when I first met Sakamoto, he called himself Umetaro Saitani. I could sense my heart beating at a quickening pace as I peeled open the letter. Oi, Spacey. Hanging in there? I bet you're dreaming of me every night in your sleep. I mean, wow, you were so full of yourself. But you know what? You are gorgeous. You're probably right. Feeling pretty good over here. Wounds healed well. I'm out and about in Kyoto on business, but I was hoping to see you. Can we make it happen? I've got some news on your father. Oh, you're so lying. You do not. News on my father. Been nearly 3 years now since I'd come to Kyoto, but no real leads have emerged. I wanted to leave and meet with Sakamoto immediately, but I know I must speak with Hijikata first. I decided to rush to his office immediately. I see. Bastard's got some information on Koto, huh? It is too soon to tell. It may be a trap to draw Yukimura into the open. That's true. Very likely. Can't let your guard down with that man. Possible, I'd like you to get some information in return on the Setsuma and Choshu, but I know he's not going to come easy with that. I mean, it really depends on how desperately you want this information, Hijikata. Like, I'm just saying, yeah, asking him's not, but I mean, I'm just thinking, like, I could do some special favors. And I mean, I'll figure something out. Well, if you insist on me doing something wildly inappropriate in order to get the information, Hijikata, I can't say no. He asked me, and he's, I'm not saying that. And Saito's like, I don't think he's saying that. I'm like, it's fine. I'll do it, okay? Okay, it's okay. Whatever, my honor, whatever. No, fuck it. I'll just go have sex with him, and I'll get the information you need. He's like, but that's not what I said at all. Don't do that. I mean, it'd be really easy. Ryoma seems pretty much like, you just blink at him, right? We'd be like, so I'm thinking he'd like naked already. And you're like, I was thinking food sounded like a good thing. But, dude, wow. I mean, seriously, thought we were having a rendezvous, right? It's talking about taking us on a honeymoon, wanting to kiss us. I think it'd be really easy to get information out of him if you got him naked. That's all I'm saying. He seems pretty fucking easy. It's fine. You may visit Sakamoto. Hear whatever he has to say about Koto. Thank you so much. I appreciated Hijikata's gesture so much. I bowed so deeply my head could have hit the floor. He really probably has no information about fucking Koto. He just said that so that we would go see him, and Hijikata would, yeah. Kondo didn't respond, instead caught in what had looked like concern. Well, with the whole incident at the Tirada not too long ago, I'm worried about sending you to Sakamoto, but hey, if there's a chance that Koto's whereabouts could be uncovered, I couldn't say no to that. Overall, I apologize for asking you to carry out the duties for us, Yukimura. These duties. Oh, it's no problem at all. You're like, I am actually in love with him, so it's totally fine. I mean, this is what I've wanted. It's all what I came to Kyoto for. It's happening. Hearing you say that makes me feel better. Don't worry, I'll be sure to have you surrounded by captains. If Sakamoto tries to pull something funny with you, we'll kill him on the spot. What? I didn't want there to be any conflict between Sakamoto and the Shinsengumi. Being able to reunite with Sakamoto alone was good enough for everything to be worth it to me. Shortly after the meeting, I wrote back to Sakamoto. A few days had passed. I'd arrived at the tea shop where Sakamoto had arranged for us to meet. If I was correct, it was the same place where he and I met for the first time. To be honest, it didn't feel like it at all, but it's been over 2 years since we first made our acquaintance. How surreal for time to pass so quickly. Okay, I was like, is he showing? What's going on? Are we being stood up? Spacey, hope I didn't keep you waiting. Oh, Sakamoto, long time no see. No, it's fine, whatever. How are your wounds? Any complications? Nope, fit as a fiddle. Seriously wouldn't have made it without you. Thank you. Oh, don't worry about it. At the time, I was so desperate to get Sakamoto to safety, and treating him was all I could think of. I was just so glad to see him upbeat and smiling like he was before me. How about a walk, huh? I haven't been to Kyoto in a while, so I'd like to walk, see the sights. Okay, why not? Sakamoto looked into the distance as the mountain range was covered in the hues of autumnal warmth. If you're gonna see Kyoto, gotta do it in fall. Summer and winter, especially the winter, are what I'd call an ordeal. Well, it's not so bad. The cold's a little rough, so I'm a southern boy. To me, a winter in Kyoto is as good as living inside an igloo. Igloo? A room built with mounds of snow to keep things chill during summer. The way he put me at ease when we spoke reminded me of the Sakamoto I'd come to adore. I remember the Shinsengumi men listing all of the things they didn't like about Sakamoto, like how he was purchasing arms from foreign countries and selling them around. Arms dealer. I'd also heard rumors about his involvement with the Satsuma and Choshu. Well, they're shady bastards. Could they really be true? Or were they just that? Rumors. We only don't like them because they're not on our side. We don't know. After descending the mountain path for a while, Sakamoto suddenly stopped in his tracks. Okay, enough chit-chat. Let's get to business. Your father, Koto Yukimura, yeah? Yes. I waited nervously for Sakamoto to continue. He's like, let's take a walk. And you're like, oh, all right, let's get to business. You really don't let me. I know where he is. This comes from a very reliable source. Really? Where is he? According to my little bird, he's been out west with a foreign merchant. Foreign merchant? Do you know whom? You see, that's the thing. I have a lot of info, and it's not all for you to know. But all I know for sure is he's somewhere out west, and he's doing all right. I couldn't help but be a little despondent. I thought I could finally reunite with my father. Ah, geez, I got your hopes up, didn't I? Oh, no. I rushed to look up, and I shook my head. It's good enough knowing he's safe. Thank you for notifying me. Although I knew I wouldn't be able to reunite with my father immediately, I just knew he was alive somewhere safe and sound. That's something to be happy about. Well, you're both alive. I bet once all your ducks are lined up, you'll see him again. Oh my god, and lining up your ducks. Again, don't think... Time Lord! As he cheered me up, he started to walk again. I rushed to follow. As we continued down the path, eventually, we'd ended up near the wooden shack where I'd split up with Sakamoto during the Terada Inn incident. About what was said earlier, you can let all the Shinsengumi boys know what I told you if you want. I'm sure they want you to tell him something, right? Well, I don't think that's the case. I mean, they let me come meet you today. Yeah, but if you keep coming back empty-handed, they won't let you keep seeing me. Surely they're probably worried you're going to tell me something accidentally, huh? Well, it's true. Most of the captains weren't fond of Sakamoto. So, if he doesn't give us any information on our enemies, they may not let me see him again. Why don't we throw him a bone then? Sakamoto was right in that they'd stop us from seeing each other. But false leads were bad. How should I respond? It doesn't feel right to be dishonest, is what I want to say. Do you think so? Spacey! It doesn't feel right to be dishonest. All right. Not that we need the points, because we already have full romance with him, and everything, but... Oh, Spacey. You think so? Sure of it. Or are you okay with never seeing me again? It's not like that. I'd like to see you anytime I want to like this. How about you? Sakamoto was so direct, and I didn't expect him to come out with that like he did. When he looked at me straight in the eye, it was as if he warmed my cheeks with a lantern beside my face. You can't weasel out of this one. Give me an answer. Which is it? His tone became increasingly demanding, so I couldn't answer him under the pressure. Well, it's not as if I don't want to see you anymore. He seemed a little taken aback by my answer. So, it's not as if I don't want to see you anymore, huh? I wish you could just come out with it and say, I want to see you. Whatever. I'm sure we'll cross paths again. I'll make you say it then. Make me say what? It was so vexing for him to tease me like this over and over again, and he knew he could control me. Even still, it was comforting to have a totally different kind of relationship with someone who wasn't one of the Shinsengumi. But I know, right? She's like, he's demanding and controlling, but I love him. I know, I'm so confused. Like, he's so demanding and bitchy and like, whatever, and he's kind of being like flirty, and it's like, are you really in love with me? Because some of the other guys are really sweet and romantic, and you're just kind of like flirty and slutty, and I'm not really sure how you feel about us, but you're so pretty, so I'm going to accept it, even though it's probably stupid. I noticed, though, that I was enjoying it. I wonder what made me feel this way. Then he muttered to himself as if he realized something. Come to think of it, Spacey, do you remember... Oh God, are you going to fucking kiss me? Sweet Jesus, if the game is actually going to give you a kiss at this point, like, oh my God. Remember what? When I kissed you here, I said that next time it wouldn't be on your forehead. It'd be on your lip. No! I backed away from Sakamoto to prevent myself from being swept away with the current. Space, you just cockblocked yourself! Why not? Like I told you, in the West, when lovers part, it's customary to bid each other farewell like this. This is Japan! Let's go. If we take too long, the sun will go down. Girl! Ugh. Look, it's okay to get a little West up in you, alright? It sounds so dirty. Seriously, let the man kiss you, for fuck's sake. I don't know what to do with myself, so I sped down the mountain path. Guess it'll be a while before we can talk like adults. Yes, because I'm like 17, so. Finally, we would walk close to the Sasuma mansion in Fushimi. Whenever I spend time with Sakamoto, time seems to slip through our fingers. Every time I say goodbye, I feel something pulling me. But today it felt especially strong. Well, okay. Because he took you to the place and he was going to kiss you and you're like, no, let's go. Oh, I feel so sad leaving him. This is your fucking fault. You just cockblocked yourself. Man, goodbyes are terrible. But I had a lot of fun, Spacey. Walking together with you is a treat. Sakamoto said so without any hint of ill will. Can I ask you one thing? Sure, what is it? I needed courage to ask him this. It was something I needed to know, but could never ask him. Are you cooperating with Sasuma Choshu and also buying weapons from foreign countries? Sakamoto's eyes widened, but his expression wasn't surprised. He smiled sincerely. Without showing any agitation, he gave me an answer lightly. Yes, I am. Why would you do such a thing? That's something that could brand you as an enemy of the Shinsengumi. Those weapons you bought could be used to kill people. Actual people. Swords kill people. Actual people. Sakamoto turned to face the darkening sky, thinking deeply to himself. Beyond the wide open sea, there's a country called Russia. Heard of it? Huh? Wasn't sure where he was going with his question. If Great Britain's king of the ocean, then Russia's king of the earth. Twice the size of Japan. We're talking about a monolith of a country. North of Nagasaki is an island called Tsushima. 5 years ago, Russia barged in, took it over, and made their own island. Both the feudal lord of Taima and the shogunate objected to this action, but Russia said that Western countries refused to listen to smaller nations. So, what happened? A shogunate official went crying to Great Britain, and they used a black ship to drive the Russians out. We were finally able to settle it. But if Great Britain were to be the one to occupy Tsushima, then we're done for. If the Satsuma Choshu were to be defeated, the shogunate would become the helmsman. What? All the things Sakamoto had been saying were things I had never heard about. Honestly, I couldn't wrap my brain around them. I don't even can I. But this was 5 years ago, right? Wouldn't the shogunate be able to make changes even a little bit by now? Could also say 5 years have passed and nothing's changed. If I were in Great Britain's or Russia's shoes, no chance would I give Japan enough time to become stronger. And then you got those crazy motherfucking redneck yokels called the fucking Americas. And those sons of bitches are nutter butters. It's like, we're talking about Great Britain and Russia, and just wait till America gets into the fray, because they are fucking psycho, and they think they own everything, and we don't have to worry about guns with them, though, or cannons, because they just have bombs like fucking dillweeds. Seriously, America's kind of a bunch of assholes. I mean, we're like the drunk frat guy at the party, right? What's up? We're the king, bitches! And everyone's like, oh! Sometimes he's fun at parties, but other times he's a total douchebag. Yeah. Sometimes we're fun and everyone's like, ah, you guys are great! But no, now seriously, you're too drunk. Could you stop waving your fucking gun and your dick around? Like, seriously, America, what the fuck are you doing? There's a line, right? And we just... There is, like, it's like the drunk line, right? You're having fun, you're fun, hi, you're fun, you are too goddamn drunk, what the fuck are you doing? That's basically America and anything. We're really fun for a while. We're like the fun drunk kid, and you're like, hi, it's all like, uh-oh, crossed the line. Just saying. We toe the line. We're just always right there. But we can be fun at parties. Anyway. So are you saying that whatever the Tokugawa clan can't do, the Choshu and Satsuma can? There's no way I could bring myself to believe that. Well, you're cooperating with the West to get guns and weapons from the West to be able to kick the West's ass. It's kind of stupid of the West to give you the ammunition you need. I mean, that's just what I don't understand about certain things. Like, hey, America, we're going to build some weapons, and then we're going to sell them to other countries that can then use them on us. That seems stupid. Why would you... I know it's all about money, but money doesn't really matter when you sell weapons to a country that's going to then come over and kick your fucking... And now you're all dead. I'm just saying. You know? It's kind of like, what do you do when you take all of your corporations, right? Oh, we can't manufacture in America. It's too expensive. We have to pay people a fair wage, so we're going to send it over and make poor little kids in China fucking sew shoes for like 2 cents an hour. And then who are you going to sell them to? Americans who don't have jobs. So how are you spending $400 on shoes? I'm just saying. Like, what the fuck? Like, there's a point where it all of a sudden gets to the point and you're like, but we don't know, nobody has money here because you we're not all in the 1%. That would just be absurd. Then that would be the 100%, wouldn't it? That's how math works. Like, but it's shit like that. Like, I'm gonna sell all the guns. So he's buying guns from the West so that they could, and then the logic seems not sound, but this is what happens when you put men in charge of things. You're like, okay. Although when you're fighting internally, it does help to have guns when everybody else... It does help to bring guns to a sword fight. That's all I'm saying. So, as we've seen, as we play this game, this path is going to completely fuck us up because we're, like, going to side with these people, but the Shinsengumi, when you're with him, it's like everything you say sounds good. And then you go back to the Shinsengumi and you're like, but our boys. Everything you say sounds good. But our boys. I'm so confused. There's no way I could bring myself to believe that. I mean, of course, there was a possibility for things to improve under them, but isn't there also the same chance for things becoming even worse than before? Always. 50-50. However, no, if there wasn't a Tokugawa shogunate, it doesn't mean the Maori shogunate or the Shimazu shogunate could do it. Huh? Suddenly, Sakamoto shook away his eerie vibe. Just kidding. Gotta run. Be careful on your way back, you hear? No, actually, have the men guarding this area take you home. We'll meet again. After Sakamoto patted my head lightly, he walked into the domain residence. I know he's kind of rude not to walk us home, but if there wasn't a Tokugawa shogunate, it doesn't mean the Mori shogunate or the Shimazu shogunate could do it. Wonder what Sakamoto was thinking. What kind of world is he trying to build? One where he's got a lot of money, I'm guessing. Just saying. That night, I told Hijikata and the captains what Sakamoto had told me. Intriguing. So Kodo is in the west. I wonder if we can trust this information. Well, sure, there's no reason for him to lie. West, huh? I wonder we couldn't find him. Well, the west is pretty vague, so that's a weak lead. Yukamura, were you able to get any more information out of him? Well, not really. We're not asking you to be a spy. However, if Sakamoto ever sends you another letter, please accommodate our concerns and casually ask him some questions. Do you hear me? Threatening. Technically, he was asking me, but Sonen's words possessed a sense of force behind them, as if he's obligating me to comply. I love Ryoma, he's gorgeous, but I'm so uncomfortable in this path. Like, I really am. Like, because he's beautiful and you're with him and you're like, I love you and you're so great, but we're betraying our boys and I can't, and we're in this weird place where we're like, we're trying to get information on him, but we love him, but we love our boys, but he's on the wrong side, and I don't know what to do. Like, I don't like it. I like it, but I don't. Like, I think in the last part, I was like, oh my god, I love his path. Because when you are with him, it's like, you're like, oh my god, he's so great and wonderful. And then you're like here, and then you're like, I don't like this anymore. It's like everything's great when you're drunk, and then you sober up, and then you're like, fuck, I'm hungover, and I don't like this anymore. And then you're fine, and then you're like, nah, drink it all night sounds like a good idea. And then it's like the cycle. This is what this is. This is a drunken night. We're with him, and it seems like a great time until we come back here, and then I was like, oh, this is the hangover, and everything hurts. I don't think I could ever do something like extract information from Sakamoto. Girl, hike your tits up and do it. No, I'm just kidding. However, I probably would be able to do something, like today, where I'd get enough to satisfy everyone. Understood. Today, Sakamoto and I shared a secret with each other. Can't say I didn't feel guilty about it, but I'm able to continue meeting Sakamoto and speaking with him. For some reason, I couldn't help but feel giddy, and I left the common room after bowing to the men. And they're gonna not trust us someday, and they're gonna kill us. Just around the time I had been meeting with Sakamoto, the Shinsengumi had received official orders from the shogunate to guard the notice board that was vandalized by the Sanjo Ohashi Bridge. We already know this. Harada, who was guarding the notice board on the night of, had arrested the culprits. However, there supposedly was a woman who'd caused trouble for him. According to Harada, that person looked just like me, but thanks to the numerous men who'd vouched for me, corroborating the story that I'd been elsewhere, no one actually suspected me. But still, this actually, word for word, I'm pretty sure, was exactly what happened in Soma's path. Like, because it's like a general, like, keep catching you up on what happened. So we don't need to be rereading that. Like, this should have counted, but the thought of someone else out there who shared my appearance left me disturbed. Like, we kind of already know that. And then Sen's gonna come visit us because I see the no. 1867. Are we in chapter 4 yet? We have to be in chapter 4. Oh, we're gonna get there because... And it was the year end of 1866. No, that thing said 1867. Thank you very much. Lord Yoshinobu had inherited the position of Shogun Iemochi, who passed away in the summer and had been appointed the 15th shogun. Only 20 days after Lord Yoshinobu had been officially inaugurated as the new shogun, the emperor suddenly passed away. It was especially hard on the emperor's younger sister, Kazunomiya, who had been married to Lord Iemochi and was intended to be a symbol of imperial unification, but everyone on both sides... We read this like 6 times already, game. No. Just because it's on a different person's path, you should be skipping this because we have read this. It's so irritating. Anyway, everyone on both sides was shocked by his death. He was succeeded by the Imperial Prince, who was 15, blah, blah, blah. In the turmoil, the activities of the Choshu domain went uninvestigated. The entire country of Japan found itself thrust into rapid motion. Okay, good. Like, we've already read that and the whole gate thing. Like, we read those things. It doesn't matter. It doesn't pertain to the... Doesn't matter. Why do I have to read it again? Are we in chapter 4 yet? Good. And this is where Saito and Heisuke leave. Okay, so now we're getting up to the point where Sakamoto actually gets murdered, but he's not going to get murdered. But because this is like, okay, where we run into her again. The soldiers, someone close to the people are leaving, blah, blah, blah. So then because it's after, no, because this happens and then the demons come to get us. And then the Nishihangwanji monks are like, bitch, get the fuck out of my shit. And then they build us the nice little place. And then we go there. And that's when that's going to happen. So we do someone who's close. Another spring had come and gone. Perhaps it was because the rainy season came rather early this year, but the sky shined a radiant blue above rather than the usual gray haze. I think this is all of it. A clear day was a rare occurrence this time of year, so I was doing some of the laundry that had been piling up. Between the warriors' uniforms, collars for their kimonos, the undershirts, the socks, and the handkerchiefs, there was a massive load. Hanging all the articles of clothing was exhausting because of their sheer volume. I'd hoped that I could be close to finishing it all by the time lunch rolled around. Just then... Damn it! Whose bright idea was it to move during a time when there weren't many warriors to go around? Dude, how many times are you gonna bitch about this? Come on, though! We're on rounds this morning till night. We also gotta train the newbie warriors. Jeez, they're working us to the bone here. If only the new warriors were half as useful as us, we'd be good, but... Listening nearby were Soma and Nomura, who were wincing from Nagakura's tirade. Oh, old boyfriend and his best friend. Sorry, Nagakura. Is there anything we could help with? We'll do anything. Oh, because they're the newbies. You dummies. If you were any useful, then you'd be the ones we'd be working to the ground. I'm sorry. I'll work harder. Don't take it personally. Shimachi's just a little cranky as he's taking it out on he's taking it out on everyone else. It looked to me as though the men were exhausted with the increase in responsibilities that came as a result of the Ito faction's departure. Murata looked at me. Oh, you're doing laundry? Want me to help? No, I'm almost finished, so I'm fine. Seriously though, Soma and Nomura, you guys are such bird brains. This is when you chime in and say, hey, let me help. I'm sorry, I'll be right there. Me too. No, seriously, I'm alright. Thanks to the help from Soma and Nomura, I was able to finish doing the laundry way faster than I had anticipated, but ever since Saito and Heisuke left, I noticed Nagakura and Harada looking more glum lately. It also seems as if Okita's health is worsening as well. What was going to become of all of us? There was no one left in the compounds, and it looked so spacious in its emptiness. I let out a sigh. No point in being depressed. I was sure that the captains had been feeling even worse about it than I did. I wanted to improve my mood, so I took a deep breath when... What is he screaming? Hey, Spacey! You hear? It's me, Ryoma Sakamoto. Voice? Could it be? But there's no way he'd be here. Hey, you there! You're suspicious! Do you know where you are? You can't just walk in here. Oh, old boyfriend and current boyfriend. Oh, he looks like such a baby when standing next to Ryoma. Jesus, Ryoma is like a hulking tall man, isn't he? Jesus. I mean, like, Soma's our age, but it's just like the whole, holy shit, the vast, like, it's not even just the tallness, it's just the width of him, too. It's like, jeez. Good lord. It's all good. I'm sure my pretty voice was enough to let them know I'm here. They'll be out in no time. Sakamoto? I got sight of his flowy hair. It was him. But what was he doing here? As I recalled what had happened the last time he visited the compounds, I began to panic. Yugamura, do you know this man? Yeah, he's kind of my boyfriend. But not. Yeah, I don't, yeah, kinda. Our relationship can't be described with one word. Right, Spacey? Stop saying things like that. You'll give off the wrong impression. No, Spacey, just accept it. See, every time he shows up, you're like, whatever he says is great. You'll give the wrong impression. No, it's cool. We love him so motherfucking much. Anyways, what are you doing here? Do you have business with the Warriors? No, I had some business in Kyoto, so I wanted to pop in and greet you. But can't talk here. I want to go outside and talk. He grabbed me by the arm and he tried to lead the both of us outside of the compounds. Wait, I can't go out by myself. However, Sakamoto paid my words no heed and he turned to face Soma. Gonna borrow her for a sec. Be a dear and tell Hijikata we'll be right back. Alrighty, let's go, Spacey. Well, wait, Sakamoto! I really can't. I couldn't resist him, and so he took me out of the Nishi Hongwanji temple. Wow. Shortly after, I found myself taking a leisurely stroll through the town of Kyoto with him. Sakamoto, I think we should go back. I'll get in trouble later. So good. We'll get in trouble together. That's no better at all. Ugh. They won't give you a hard time if you manage to get some useful information from me, yeah? Well, that may be true, but that's not enough of a reason for me to leave the compounds without a word. Sakamoto laughed, his whole body shaking heavily. First of all, he kidnapped you. He dragged you out. Look, Soma can attest. He dragged my ass out. I didn't willingly go. He dragged me. Look at me and look at him. He's twice my size. It's not going to work. You know, being angry kind of suits you. More than when you have that sad look on your face. I felt my heart pounding as his eyes thinned. Being told that I look better when I'm angry, and also you putting down my sad face, doesn't make me happier. I felt myself blushing and I looked away. Looks like it, huh? Well, whatever face you have on, it's adorable. Well, like I said, whenever I spend time with Sakamoto, I find myself drawn into his wit and candor. And right? Like you're with him and you're like, oh my god, no, everything he says is fine. And then it's like the drunk moment. There was no way I could keep my composure. Eventually, we passed by a shop which caught Sakamoto's eye. Oh, it's a hairpin. Want me to get it for you? No, don't be shy. I think it'll look good on you. See? Sakamoto reached for a beautiful dragonfly hairpin, and he placed it gently into my hair. Woohoo! Woohoo! I don't think they said that either. Looking good. Gotta say, I impress myself with my taste. Wow, he is such a braggart. His tendency to compliment me with his warm, charming voice never failed to make my heart skip a beat. He was complimenting himself. Pretty much. Like, I'm so great with what I think. Even if you bought it for me, I couldn't just bring it back into the compounds. Sakamoto stared deeply into my eyes, and I caught my own reflection from looking into his. And then, oh, right. Forcing a girl like you to wear a man's getup, keeping you chained like some bird. Those Shinsengumi boys are messed up. He returned the hairpin to its original place, and we continued walking. And some the shop owners were like, why is he putting a hairpin on that boy? Hey, anywhere you want to go in particular? I mean, we're already out. Might as well see everything you wanna. No, Stop worrying about me. How about you? Are you alright? I hear that many people are after you. It'll be fine. After all, Japan needs me. Japan needs me. What are you, fucking Japanese Superman? Like, what the fuck? I'm sure my country wouldn't let me go before I was needed. Actually, you do get murdered, but not in this path. You have no idea what you're saying. Ugh. Although I didn't agree totally with what he said, I was thinking about how he had survived back at the Terada Inn. It did really seem like he was born for something special. possessing an extraordinary sense of luck that made him seem invincible. This is actually fucking hilarious considering the fact that, again, we're coming up to the point where he gets assassinated. But he's not gonna in this path. But he gets assassinated and everything. I was like, he's so lucky. Yeah, he's waiting for something great. Oh, he gets assassinated. Apparently that was what his greatness was for. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, it's fucking hilarious. It would actually have been funnier if we played this route first, somehow by accident. Right? And like, we're like, he's team for greatness. And then in every other path he gets murdered and you're like, oh, wait, no, wait, what? Because it's just kind of ironically funny. Like, I don't know. Maybe Sakamoto was rubbing off on me. I think he'd like to. It felt quite strange to think about him like this. Sorry, but... After doing some sightseeing in Kyoto, we had made our way to the Kamo River for a break. This ain't a bad-looking river, but I still prefer the ocean. Have you ever lived near the ocean, Sakamoto? Yep, born in Tosa. I almost want to say I spent more time swimming in the ocean than I did walking on land. That can't be true, right? I heard you had siblings. What kind of people are they? Huh. I lost my parents at a young age. So my older brother and sisters were like my folks, basically. My older sister's named Atome. Really? That's funny. And they throw that in there, they're like, they just... I think they were all a little tipsy when they wrote this fucking path. I really do. Because they're like, we're going to be like, he's destined for greatness, but he gets murdered and everyone. That's hilarious. Make a sister's name Atome. 3 years older. Man, what a gal. She could read, write, fence, do it all. She taught me a lot. Wow. I mean, I can read and write. I can't fence, but I mean, I'm just saying 2 out of 3 ain't bad, right? Sakamoto continued to talk excitedly about his life in the Tosa and about his family. He looked as though he had so much fun telling me the stories. I really got the sense of how strongly he felt connected to his family and to his people. But you've left your domain, right? If you love your hometown that much, doesn't it hurt you to not return? As Sakamoto looked at me before responding, I could see the conflict resting in his heart through his eyes. Oh, pardon me. That's none of my business. I'm sorry. He quietly shifted his gaze toward the flow of the river. Well, it's not like I hate the Tosa. They just have so many dumb rules. Rules? Then he moved his line of sight towards the sky as if counting himself with the rest of the stars. I was born a country samurai. Tosa samurai fall into one of 2 categories. A country samurai or a high-ranking retainer. Country samurai, lower strata of the samurai class. In the Tosa domain, it points to the descendants of the Chosakabe clan before the Yamauchi clan governed. High-ranking retainer, the higher ranking of the samurai class. In the Tosa domain, it points mainly to the retainers of the Yamauchi clan, who became the new governors. If you're a country samurai, you can't wear socks. No matter how hard it rains, you can't wear shoes either, nor a parasol for the hotter days. Why do they do that? It's all because our ancestors were the enemies of the Tokugawa during the Battle of Sekigahara? So, all because of my ancestors, who I've never even met, usually because they're ancestors and they're long since dead, and who did stuff over 260 years ago, were treated like nothing. What a damn shame, huh? You have a point. I can only nod in response. Of course, if you challenge someone to war and lose, you're going to be punished accordingly, but after 260 years, where's the line drawn? Why continue to let people suffer? If you're teaching them a lesson, we're going to make you suffer for eternity so that you learn what your ancestors didn't, and then you get mad and there's an uprising and, oh, wait. It's a vicious cycle, right? I mean, is it really worth it to make descendants of your enemies, people who were years removed from being involved, suffer forever? I think in the past, you said something like how a Mori shogunate or a Shimazu shogunate could do everything the Tokugawa can. Then what kind of world are you striving for, Sakamoto? His smile shaped into a stoic expression, and he gazed into my eyes. I want to change the world. No more rotten samurai to prey on the weak. No more people taking advantage of the starving or the destitute. I mean, that's like noble, but it's never gonna happen, buddy. I gulped. In our government, it was customary for samurai of the Shogunate's clan, or the Hatamoto, to promote and educate from within. There was no way people unfamiliar with the system could easily assume those positions. Sakamoto spoke as if it could be easily done. Isn't it all wrong? No matter how useless someone could be, if they were born into a good family, then their promotion is all but guaranteed, which does not make for strong government or military, if you think about it. Like, unfortunately, that's usually how it works. Oh, especially if you have a penis. It's really easy to get your way. But you know what I mean? Like, oh, my daddy was richer than me, so I'm like, oh my god. No. Like, that's fucked up. It is. I mean, it is hard when you're in the, like, well, that's just the way it is. But why? It doesn't make sense. Like, if someone has amazing skill, but the thing is like, look at the Shinsengumi, right? They're kind of in that boat. Like, well, they're never gonna, like, they had to fight to earn where they are because they weren't just rich kids, you know? And, like, who was it in Soma's route that was all pissed off at him? Like, well, you suck. Well, Okita, right? Well, you suck because you got everything handed to you. But Okita's, like, fucking more amazing than Soma will ever be. But Okita would never have had the opportunities. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, I think that they could kind of agree with that. You know what I mean? Like, they had to fight for what they are. But it's like, but then it's like, but wait. So, but it's one of those things too. Sometimes you're like, well, that side has these good points, and this side has these good points, but nobody has all the perfect points. Like, so, like, I don't know. But I can see where he's going with this. But anyway, oh my god, my neck hurts so much. Anyway. Yeah, but oh, honey, wait till the future. Anyway, in America, a country located far beyond the seas, I hear that people can vote for who they think is fit to become lord of their country. Yeah, but then we realize at a certain point that, like, half the country isn't fit to be able to vote for people who they think is fit because they're idiots. So it seemed like a good idea at the time, and it still seems like a good idea, but people are stupid, so here we are, America. Vote? Who votes for them? Warriors, farmers, civilians? They all got one bit each, and supposedly all you have to do is write down the name of the person they want to make their lord. I like that so much better. The Lord of the United States. That is so much fucking better. Can we? Not right now. Not right now. Wait till fucking Cheeto's out. But can we do that someday? Can we just change it instead of being I don't want to be like the President of the United States. That sounds like, but the Lord of the United States. No, actually, President does not better, doesn't it? Lord is fascinating. Our Lord. Sorta. Some would like to think they've got all the rulings of a lord, but that's why we have all the other stations of government to kind of keep that in check. But again, it's all corrupt, so it doesn't really work the way it should. It was a great idea until the corruption, but just saying. We got the same problems you do. Well, this guy's dad was in Congress, so he should be in Congress. No, fuck you. They're all idiots. Stop it. We're going through the same thing that they're dealing with. Like, we kind of... history repeats itself, right? Because, yeah, it still happens. Everywhere, in a lot of things, in companies, in government, in everything, every country, everywhere, probably same problems. And all of the chosen officials have this thing called a Congress, and they make decisions about their country after holding discussions. All that he said was so different from Japan. Yeah, but look where you are and look where we are. Your toilets are magical. Although your shower is your bathroom and your bathroom is your shower, which is a little weird. We've at least figured out how to put a door so that your whole bathroom doesn't get wet when you take a shower, but small things. That was in a different video in another game where we had the conversation about how weird is that? Why? Like, I don't understand. But anyway, we don't live in a camper. Anyway, I stood in awe hearing all of the things he said about how the West governs things. Something beyond my imagination. Could you really do such a thing? In Japan? We can. Westerners, Japanese. At the end of the day, we're all the same. Told you that before. True, we are. But Japan currently has all these predicaments. Like the shogunate, imperial court, feudal lords. I think it's good that they work as a group to make decisions and discuss issues, but could something like that really happen here? I don't know. However, Sakamoto seemed nonplussed about my question, and he responded with confidence. It's not impossible. Just gotta do the same thing as Commodore Perry when he came here. What did he mean? Using the black ships or using weapons and threats to force people to listen? That sounds American. Shogunate ain't dumb either. I'm pretty sure you didn't say ain't either, because I'm pretty sure that's an American word for rednecks who don't know how to say is not. Or are not. Aren't, isn't. No such thing as ain't. Stop it. Fuck it, I know that they put it in the dictionary, but it's stupid. It's not a real word. Don't. Especially because it's not a real word. Just because a lot of dumb fucking people say it doesn't mean it. And you shouldn't say it. You can't say it. You're supposed to be more intelligent than that. I hope, anyway. Also, why are you Again, he's a fucking Time Lord. Because ain't was not a fucking word. So anyway. The Shogunate ain't dumb either. Whoa. If they find out that the Satsuma and Choshu are gaining in power, they won't be able to ignore it. A weapon alone can't win a war, but it can be used to negotiate with your enemies. I don't want to start a war. I just want to get rid of the Shogunate and create a world that's fair and just. I didn't know how to respond, and I looked down. Sakamoto had claimed that he didn't want to start a war, but depending on how the Shogunate responds to his actions, a war could just as easily erupt. So, like, are we saying that he started this whole fucking thing? We're gonna fall in love with the man who starts the war and kills all our friends? Man, Spacey. Damn. You picked a lane for sure. Look, but even if what Sakamoto aspires for comes into fruition, could we really create a world where there's no such thing as shogunate or even the samurai? Oh, unfortunately. Just then, oh, this bitch. Who's our brother?
Oh, there you are, Sakamoto. I was looking for you. You need to come back soon.
Oh my god, you're on the side of my brother, you son of a bitch.
Oh, you're...
Kaoru, you're Sakamoto's acquaintance?
Yes, we're both from Tosa.
Well, yeah, that's all we got in common. And the funny thing is like, okay, we know that Kaoru's a dude, but he looks like us, and he actually is dressed like a girl. We're dressed like a boy. But Ryoma's in love with us and has no interest. Does he know that Kaoru is a dude? Because you'd think he'd be like, wow, you look like Spacey, but in a dress. Woo! But I guess that just proves that even dressed like a boy, we're better than you, bitch. You might look better over there dressed all pretty and girly, but we're just a better person, and that's why he likes us. Oh, he likes us for our personality. Aww. And we're adorable, apparently, but...
Aw, that's all. How sad of you to say.
Sakamoto's dismissal of Kaoru made my stomach turn from the awkwardness of his response. How could they be connected? I suppose it was really none of my business to ask. However, just to be clear, it's not what you think. She's kinda a detective or something. I see. His reassurance made me feel a little more at ease. But I don't know why it felt that way at all. You know, seeing the two of you next to each other, you kind of look alike. In more ways than one. Really? Akita had said something similar before as well. Do Kaoru and I really look alike? Well, yeah.
So good with words as always, Sakamoto. You keep saying all these things. Yukimura, I suggest you be careful. Sakamoto is a man of the sea.
Oh my god, yes, he's our pirate king. I seriously need a goddamn Pirate Otome game. What the fuck? Why are there none of these? Actually, I think there is a newer one on Steam, but like I need an Idea Factory one because they make the best fucking Otome games. I'm serious. Like, they make the best. So we need to get one localized. Anyway.
I hear he has women in various ports all over. I also hear that he's quite popular with the women of,
Gion as well. Oh, really? Hey, come on. Stop leading her on like that. I don't have time to woo women. Besides, girls at Gion, they're all paid to give me compliments.
Well, rumor has it that your popularity isn't just with the women. You're even kind to the Sasuma and Choshu, both of whom are enemies of the shogunate. You're known to be especially close to
Takasugi?
From Choshu, who's known to be a ruffian.
Dude, he is being a douche.
Shinsaku Takasugi, a Choshu warrior who belonged to the Imperial Nationalist Party. He established new troops such as the
Kiheitai? Close enough.
Don't you think that Yukimura here would find all of this hard to stomach? What with their association with the Shinsengumi and all?
Wow. We totally know Kaoru's role, but damn, Kaoru's being a cunt right now. Well, she already knows that I've been connected to the Choshu. Doesn't come as a surprise to her, right?
Well, yes. Oh yeah? Come to think of it, didn't you run into some trouble with the Kishu domain and swindle them out of a large sum of money?
Oh, well, now he's getting shady. He's still pretty. You know what, though? I don't give a fuck. I trust him over her. Because I know what this bitch did. What did you do to Okita, cunt? The fuck did you do to... I mean, you saved his life, but you also made him a fury, and you knew I wouldn't like it, but I still get to keep Okita, and he's not dead. So, I mean, I'm just saying, it's really not all bad. Kyora's really shit at doing bad things. Like, you are shit at being evil. Like, you don't know how. You leave it to the pros, okay? Back up, bitch. Leave it to the pros.
Kishu domain, one of the three main branches of the Tokugawa clan, the domain where the 14th shogun Iemochi Tokugawa was born. The Kishu Tokugawa clan, who are one of the three big Tokugawa clans, are quite angry with you.
One of the three big Tokugawa clans. Hey, they were having some boating problems. Didn't run into any trouble. I just accepted their apology money. Nothing illegal there.
According to the rumors, you used the Tosa and sent a petition to the shogunate. That was you, right? Supposedly you wrote to the Lord Yoshinobu and suggested that he step down as shogun, or something like that.
So?
Word is getting around, and you're becoming quite unpopular around the shogunate. My, you sure are a courageous man.
Ugh, great detective work there. You sure dug up a lot. If Sakamoto wasn't denying everything Kaoru said, then was everything she said true? I never really thought about it until now. Was Sakamoto really the illustrious man that I thought he was? But he's handsome. Eventually, Kaoru asked a hushed question.
So, what do you think of Sakamoto?
I don't know. I think he's a good person deep down, and that's the right thing. I think he's a good person deep down.
A good person?
Yes, his attitude and speech may be gruff, but he always looks out for me, and he does his best when I'm in need, and he cheers me up. Wow, that's really selfish reasonings, but he's a bold man, so sometimes he can get off on the wrong foot with people. But deep down, I think he's a good person. As I told her how I felt, Kaoru sighed heavily. She was annoyed by my response.
He's deceived you, Yukimura.
You've deceived us! You have! She's got some good insight. Wish she'd say good man rather than good person, though.
Anyways, Yukimura, we'll be on our way now.
Oh, okay. Goodbye. You look so sad to leave us. I'm sad too. As much as I want to take you back to Nishi Hongwanji Temple, I don't think she'll let me. And Sakamoto shouted, Oi! Whoever's keeping watch over there, I'm leaving it to you. In response, a rustle came from behind the embankment. Aww. I do love Yamazaki. Like, he wasn't one of my favorites because he's just like the side character. Like, he's never around, even though he's one of the romanceable characters. But, like, he's always there for us. And his path was really good. So I really do love Yamazaki. All right, later, Spacey. Don't know when I'll see you again, but take care, yeah? Oh, okay. I nodded, and suddenly Sakamoto had placed his arm around my neck. Hey, what are you doing? Sakamoto! I panicked, pushing his arms away from me. Be careful around her. I looked in the direction to which his chin was pointing, and I saw Kaoru. And no matter what happens to the Shogunate, don't be too hard on me, yeah? You mean, I wanted to ask him to clarify what he meant by that. Sakamoto took Kaoru away, and they left the Kamo River. What did he mean? Does it mean that war will come soon? Yukamura, let's head back to the compounds. Yukamura. Oh, sorry. I seem to have been caught in a daze. Do you feel sick? Maybe we should rest. No, I'm fine. Let's head back to the compounds. All right, then let's go. Perfect. My heart was heavy with worry, and the ache lingered for a few moments longer. It wasn't something I could tell others, much less the warriors, though. So I spent the next few days in a deep reflection, and it was difficult to shake my concerns. Perfect place to end it. Okay, so I'm gonna wrap this part up here. Oh, Kaoru! Touch my fucking man, you bitch! I know that it's really not gonna, like, anything's gonna happen because Kaoru is not a woman, but still, I don't need her sliding up and giving my man doubts. What a bitch. So anyway, I'm gonna wrap this part up here. I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.